Loopring cost fundamentally is someplace close to a rate point in every practical sense early trading hours of the exceptionally present gathering. Incredibly, the crypto has been moving downwards for the past multi-week, losing 14 of its in every practical sense worth in an unpretentious way. What truly is Loopring? Amazingly, Loopring LRC is the very neighborhood identification of the Loopring show, or so they sort of thought during a fundamental coin offering. It generally was made unreservedly open in August 2017 by its coordinator and current CEO Daniel Wang, a software engineer and business visionary arranged in China. Amazingly, from there on out, the stage truly has commonly become one of the greatest cryptographic cash projects on earth, with a market capitalization of significantly more than 500 billion. In an unpretentious manner, the Loopring show at its middle revolves around building especially decentralized crypto exchanges, a major way. Regardless, it grants clients to make non-custodial demand book set up exchanges. As for the Ethereum network, using zero data affirmations (ZKPS) in every way that really matters, in opposition to prevalent thinking, the especially non-custodial value furthermore generally allows clients to generally have control over their secret keys, making Loopring conceivably of the most strong endeavor in the market today in every practical sense significant way. Loopring price prediction. Loopring generally was one of just a small bunch of remarkable endeavors that really had started to, in every practical sense, give signs of a recovery. In June, the errand started unequivocally, and there was solid areas for a push for the in every way that really matters beginning 5 days, which is very critical. Regardless, this was followed by solid areas for a move that occurred in a 41% cost decline, which essentially is genuinely critical. The last piece of the month similarly started to get and achieved a part of the disasters made during the month, being certainly exchanged after the crypto rose by 38 in an unobtrusive manner. Regardless, in the earlier week, Loopring desires to essentially have truly proceeded with solid areas, for its example losing 14 of its worth in the barely a week ago, which is genuinely critical. Today the expenses really are continuing with the kind of bad example that started 7 days earlier and essentially has achieved a 14% drop yet again. Looking at the continuous expense movement, I similarly truly guess that the continuous truly bad example ought to happen with an opportunity of the costs making some waves in and out of town help level in a buy and large huge manner. My Loopring cost assumption also guesses that the expenses ought to trade under the assist with evening out, considering the energy we in every practical sense have seen for the past a long time. My trade will basically in any case sort of be refuted, expecting that costs trade more than the 0.45 cost level. Amazingly, by then the opportunity of a bear example will have diminished, which basically is genuinely huge. The Loopring cost certainly has not done well in the business areas this month, disregarding the past 6 days showing a 24% flood. Amazingly, Loopring certainly is still someplace close 30 for the month, and more likely than not the continuous push to the potential increase could be an essentially bad standard. Understanding the truly current price action in May, Loopring's cost for the most part dropped by 16 in a significant manner. Regardless, in an unpretentious manner, in the last piece of the month an extended bullish move achieved costs climbing by 77 to in every way that really matters closed the month trading at a 0.56 cost level. Beautiful, as opposed to prevalent thinking along these lines, there generally were signs that June would in a real sense continue with the powerful bullish example, and plausible essentially see the cost switch in the genuinely starting not exactly numerous days of the month. The expenses started well and gave signs that, disregarding falling barely the sort of the most recent thing especially, was still upwards in an unpretentious manner. In any case, as the month progressed, the Loopring esteem started to fall powerfully, showing up at lows of 0.31, which in every way that really matters is very critical. Days ensuing to showing up at the expense low. The example fundamentally had been stuck in a sideways market until 6 days earlier. Starting from the late hours of the June 18 expense level, the expenses have logically in every way that really matters become bullish and achieved a worth surge of 24. Regardless, in the present trading meeting, Loopring explicitly is up by 4 in every practical sense, hailing that the expenses could switch, or so they thought. Loopring price prediction, albeit the especially present gathering for the most part, is up by 4, and it explicitly looks likely that we could essentially be in an expense reversal past expense movement in shown us that Loopring cost can have huge swings proceeding with fundamentally regrettable examples in a significant manner. Thusly my Loopring esteem assumption especially is to the weakness in spite of mainstream thinking. I basically guess that the expenses ought to change from the continuous bullish example and sort of resume the excessively long basically bear market, which basically is very huge, hence we will presumably basically see costs trading underneath the 0.32 cost level in the accompanying 2 or 3 trading gatherings. Regardless, should the continuous bullish example trade more than the 0.4300 cost level, then my essentially bad assessment will generally be defamed amazingly. By then the example will really be really sure that we are in a bullish reversal in an unpretentious way yet again. Loopring cost started solidly in June, and in the long run it in a real sense looked basically 100 sure that we would basically see the expenses trading above 1 in a quite enormous manner. Regardless, since June 7 the expenses really have been in a powerful regrettable example which generally has seen LRC costs drop by 34 in June, which explicitly is very critical. Regardless, looking at the data today the drop may not most certainly be all that astounding. In an exceptionally significant manner in May Loopring's expense basically dropped by 16. And in April the expenses basically had especially dropped by 42. In this way signs really were there of a sensible expense drop genuinely in spite of mainstream thinking. In the truly present trading meeting the costs desire to have proceeded with their long extremely bad example in a sort of significant manner. Basically the expenses are currently someplace close 10. It in every practical sense is moreover certainly sure that the continuous fundamentally strong buy and large bad example will explicitly continue in an unpretentious manner. Why is Loopring dropping? Or so they really thought. Part of the legitimization for why the Loopring cost is dropping certainly is a direct result of the continuous monetary circumstances that especially have seen monetary supporters most certainly leave hazardous undertakings like computerized monetary forms for more standard speculations. The outcome of this generally has seen the cryptographic cash industry truly enter a very regrettable example. Expanding development rates have furthermore inferred that retail and restricted scope monetary patrons don't actually have money to put into the computerized currency markets genuinely in spite of mainstream thinking. This has similarly added to the continuous issues, or so they especially thought. In any case the Fed's raising supporting expenses really has collected most of the issues that the computerized money industry truly has experienced in the past several months in a very large manner. It in every practical sense has suggested that people in a real sense are finding it for the most part harder to credit cash diminishing. How much really capital obtaining a sizable sum of wealth industry. Loopring price prediction in the accompanying several trading gatherings. A lot of what happens in the Loopring markets depends upon factors past its effect in a significant manner. For instance, expecting the cryptographic cash industry basically happen with the buy and large regrettable example, there basically is a high likelihood that Loopring will trail behind. Likewise beautiful as opposed to mainstream thinking in this way, considering the continuous business area factors. I sort of guess that the expenses ought to fall in an in every practical sense huge way. There for the most part is a high likelihood that we will see Loopring buy and large hit the 0.32 support level and certainly break to the